Hello, my name is Andrea, and this is Starlight Stories for Magical Children. Here you will find a collection of stories that were told to me from storytellers from magical realms, the animal kingdom, and nature. I am delighted to share these stories with you. And maybe as you listen, you'll find that life really is magical, and so are you. Our storyteller today is Turtle. But before I share his story with you, there's something he wants us to know. Turtles have a deep understanding of how everything in life and in nature happens in perfect timing and rhythm. And now, let's begin. It was nearing the end of winter. The days had begun to grow longer. The temperature was growing warmer. Snow was melting. The ponds and the streams and the lakes that had been frozen were thawing, and the birds had returned with their beautiful songs. And a little turtle that had spent his winter in a state of brumation had noticed the change. Quick note here, brumation is kind of like hibernation, but for reptiles instead of mammals. And they don't really go into a deep sleep, but instead they just get really sluggish and don't move around too much. Okay, back to the story. Turtle had been living under the water for months. He noticed that the earth was changing. In the stream he was living in, he could see that the water was flowing again. And then one evening, he heard it, the sound of rain. That first rainfall after many months of only snow is an awesome thing to experience, whether you're a turtle or a human. Turtle stirred, feeling the pull to leave the water and venture back onto land. He decided to wait until the rain stopped. He was already in the water, so no need to get more wet, he thought to himself. It rained the rest of the evening and all through the night. And then it stopped, just as the morning's first rays of light were shining into the now swiftly flowing stream. Time to greet the sun, he decided. He began to move his body with purpose, swimming towards the surface. He poked his head out of the water and felt the fresh air on his face. He crawled onto the earth, and with each step, he could feel his feet sinking deep into the cool, squelchy mud that had been created from all the rain the night before. But he did not mind. After months underwater, he loved the feeling of the earth wrapping around his turtle feet. He smiled to himself, grateful to be on the ground. Now Turtle had a specific destination in mind. Not too far from the stream was a large flat rock with a perfect slope for Turtle to climb onto. This spot is where he would always go when it was time to greet the sun. Now, like I mentioned, the rock was not too far away from the stream, but it would still take a little time for Turtle to get there. He had not made it too far when a little squirrel scampered by. "Hello, Turtle, happy spring?" Turtle smiled. "Hello, squirrel. Spring is nearly here, but we still have a bit more time to spend with winter. But yes, today especially has that spring smell to it after the rain last night. Where are you off to today?" Squirrel said, "No time to chat. I need to go see if I can collect some nuts I buried last fall, now that the ground isn't frozen. See you around." And Squirrel hurried off. Turtle watched as Squirrel quickly leaped and skittered and hopped away searching for nuts. As Turtle took his next step, his foot hit something unexpectedly hard. He dug into the mud just a little and discovered one of Squirrel's nuts. I'll leave it out here for him to find. And then he kept moving toward his rock. When Turtle was about halfway to the rock, a duck waddled right by him. "Oh, hello, Turtle," the duck said. "Now that the stream is thawed, I'm heading there to catch some fish. I can't wait for the warm weather to stay. It's so much harder to catch food when the waters keep freezing over." Turtle nodded. "I can understand why you might feel in a hurry for the warmer weather to come," said Turtle. "But spring and summer will arrive in their own perfect timing. Enjoy this warm gift from winter." Duck had already splashed into the stream, not giving much thought to the words that Turtle had shared. So Turtle continued on. He was nearly to his rock when he caught sight of white stripes out of the corner of his eye. It was his friend Skunk, shuffling through the sticks, making her way to the stream for a drink of water. "Hello, Skunk. How are you?" Turtle called out. "I'm quite well. So happy to see the sunshine today. I just can't wait for winter to be over. This one felt harsh to me. I'm ready for the green, the warmth, and all the plentiful food." Turtle smiled gently at Skunk. "Yes, I know winter can be harsh, but winter still has more to share with us before spring arrives. See if you can find something that you enjoy about this season, for there is not much left of it remaining." Skunk paused. She wasn't really in the mood to change her perspective on this, but she knew her friend Turtle was wise. So she took a moment and reflected on her time in winter. Of course, her mind went right to all of the experiences she didn't enjoy. But when she looked deeper, she realized how much she needed that time to rest her body, to slow down. She felt a little spark of gratitude in her chest. "Thanks, Turtle," she said. "I needed that." Skunk continued shuffling along to the stream for her drink of water as Turtle continued moving towards the rock. And in the perfect timing, just as Turtle reached the rock, so did the rays of sunshine. By the time he was perched comfortably on the rock, the light from the sun was shining over his body, and he felt the warmth grow inside of him. He knew winter wasn't quite over yet, that he'd likely need to return to the water, but he trusted the rhythm of the seasons and knew that everything would always happen in just the right timing. Before the story ends, Turtle wants to share a message with you. For those of you living in the Northern Hemisphere, where we are less than 2 weeks away from the arrival of spring, Turtle wants to encourage you to see if you can still spot signs of winter and find something you enjoy about this season. So as we move into spring, we can all feel that spark of gratitude for the gifts that winter brought us. And if you're living in the Southern Hemisphere and your summer is turning to autumn, see if you can relish those last bits of summer before the coolness of autumn arrives and things begin to slow down. And that is the end.